A Vancouver teachers union wants to ban police officers from schools and from all school events. Could you imagine how you'd feel as a kid in one of these teachers' classes if your mom or dad was a cop? Teachers' unions being social justice extremists is no surprise, especially in British Columbia. They've already attached themselves to the Black Lives Matter movement. But that wasn't quite enough. It wasn't enough just to support the movement. The Vancouver Elementary School Teachers Association is taking supporting BLM to the next level. They passed an anti-cop motion the other day in something called a BIPOC meeting, a Black, Indigenous, Person of Color meeting. Just look at the meeting invite. It's so social justice-y. It's got so many acronyms and it's even race segregated. It's just odd. Look at this. If you are a teacher who identifies as a Black, Indigenous, or person of color, there's the BIPOC acronym right there. Please consider attending VESTA's online meeting for up to 25 self-identified BIPOC members on June 16, 2020 from 1 till 3. A suggested discussion topic might be how we increase equity and representation of Aboriginal teachers and teachers of color within VESTA's structures. This committee met on Tuesday, March 10th at the VESTA office to begin this discussion. New members are encouraged to attend, then blah, 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 and we've got some contact information there. Now, none of the solutions to this alleged underrepresentation of people of color in education involve busybody white teachers resigning in favor of Black or Indigenous ones. And besides, in reality, the real underrepresentation in education is male teachers. Only 10% of teachers are men. And if that imbalance were actually fixed, it would probably benefit 50% of students. Putting men in the classroom would be helpful because they understand that normal boy behavior is not a behavioral disorder to be medicated away. Anyway, the motion passed by that meeting of the VESTA self-ID'd BIPOC panel will put vulnerable kids in danger, which is a weird stance for these people who so often use their extreme care and concern for other people's kids as the reason they deserve more and more and more money so they don't strike and hurt your kids. Just look at this from Global BC. The Vancouver Elementary School Teachers Association, VESTA, passed a motion Tuesday night that recommends Vancouver police and RCMP officers no longer attend school events. It also calls on the association's members to no longer plan or attend events where VPD or RCMP officers are invited until both organizations take clear steps to address the disproportionate representation of people of color, including Black and Indigenous people. Our association acknowledges that this racism isn't new, but recent events have highlighted the inequity faced by Black, Indigenous people, and people of color, BIPOC again. And then the need for local and global solidarity with those impacted most by inequities in the policing, education, judicial, and medical system, said VESTA President Jill Barclay in a statement. This teachers' union is putting their far left-wing radical unionist agenda ahead of the kids, as they always tend to do. The evidence that supports police being around kids at school is overwhelming, especially when it comes to the issue of bullying, which is one of those things teachers actually can't shut up about. But don't take my word for it. Carleton University studied the effects of police in and around schools here in Canada, and the outcome? Well, it absolutely has a positive impact on kids, especially the vulnerable ones. Look at this. An extensive 2-year Carleton University study of Peel Regional Police's $9 million School Resource Officer, or SRO program, is reducing crime and bullying while providing extensive social and economic benefits estimated at 11 times the cost, especially for students who feel safer, less stressed, miss less school, and are better able to learn and are mentally healthier. The independent report, initiated by Linda Duxbury, a professor in Carleton's Sprott School of Business, and Professor Craig Bennell in the Department of Psychology is based on a survey of nearly 1,300 grade 9 students and 100 interviews with SROs, their bosses, school administrators, and students in 5 Peel Region high schools. The researchers also reviewed daily records kept by SROs and shadowed them during their working hours on 10 occasions. While the study suggests that all students realize measurable benefits from the SRO program, those who have been victims of bullying and or violence, 16% of students surveyed, reported feeling significantly safer after experiencing the program for 5 months. School staff also benefited from police support and spent less time on disciplinary matters and property damage. And because SROs are more likely to recommend diversion when appropriate, students often can avoid criminal charges. The presence of police increases the chance that students, especially those with mental health issues, will get the help they need from social services and healthcare systems. The program also reduces pressure on the police force's front lines and gives officers the chance to acquire a wide range of skills critical to effective police work in the communities they serve. Interviews showed school administrators worry most about the impact of bullying, especially cyberbullying, as well as drugs, theft, and assault in their schools, but the presence of SROs reduces concerns about these issues. An Arizona State University in the United States did a similar examination of school resource officers going all the way back to the year 2000, and they found very similar results. Teaching little ones that police are the enemy is dangerous and cruel. Kids should learn that a police officer is someone that they can trust. What if these kids are being abused at home, or what if they are being abused at school and feel for some reason they can't tell their parents? Who do they tell? And why are the teachers taking away another mandated reporter of abuse from these little kids? It's creepy and it's weird actually, and it's clear the studies show it's vulnerable kids, underprivileged kids, who will suffer the most for these social justice warrior teachers unions and their anti-cop agenda. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. The mainstream media is either too scared or, frankly, too left-wing and too aligned with the radical left to report on the destructive agenda of the radical left, but not us here at Rebel News. We'll never take a penny from Justin Trudeau to cover the news. However, that means we rely on people like you. If you'd like to help us here, please go to helprebelnews.com.